Hello, everyone. Welcome to the March edition of our monthly town hall. And overall, I think it's our 18th town hall we've hosted since April 2023. My name is Sean, and I'm the community lead at Kaia Foundation. I'm sorry for those who are hoping for Paulo. Fret not, he's still here. He's just busy with Kaia Wave, so I will be taking over hosting these town halls, at least the English ones, in a similar fashion to the AMAs that I've been hosting from since the start of the year. You know, the mini AMAs. Um, so yeah, essentially that's that. So as is usual with the town hall agenda, we'll first kick it off with a monthly recap from Sam, our chairman, followed by business updates from Uno, our CBO. However, this town hall is going to be a bit different, similar to I think the January one, where not entirely different, but you get what I mean. So essentially, we're going to have the winners from the recent Kaya Wave Growth Competition, who will be join us on a panel discussion. But first, we'll have a bit of discussions about said competition from Jared. And finally, at the end, if time does permit, we'll have hopefully some audience submitted Q&As. I'd strongly recommend asking the mini dApps questions, as apart from the AMAs that we've been seeing from since the start of the year. We don't really get you don't really get a lot of options or chances to ask them any questions like outright to be able to answer live like this. So obviously, I do recommend asking the two projects. I think the Bombi as well as Elderglade. So if you have any burning questions for them, go ahead and put them in chat, be it on Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook, and I think we'll stream this to Discord. So yeah, we will be holding all questions to the end of the presentations and the panel in town hall. So you guys should stick around to see if your question gets answered. Another note is that all of the streams and from all the town halls are actually archived over on YouTube. So if you go over, I think our YouTube channel is actually at the bottom corner below all these things at Kaia Chain. You can view all the past town halls, all the Kaya town halls, at least all the way back since I think mid last year. So yeah, but first off, I'd like to kick it off with Sam, who will tell us what Kaya has been up to in the month of March. Sam?
Okay, thank you, Sean. So hello everyone, this is Sam from Kaia. So nice to meet you, and thank you for joining us today for the Kaia Community Town Hall. So yeah, as usual, I'm gonna briefly describe what we have done and also what Kaia ecosystem has grown during March. So today I have four categories that I can share today. So ecosystem, analytics, and Kaya Web and Dev Portal, and lastly events. So first thing is about ecosystem. So in March we also integrated very promising the projects and infrastructures to Kaya ecosystem. So the one of the the integration we had in March is we integrated Pump BTC to expand the BTC liquidity. So you guys can now use Pump BTC for the BTC the yield generation. And also we announced a partnership with Tralla to expand the GameFi ecosystem. So the Tralla will be launching their games on Kaya in the future. And Pickup, which is one of the largest exchange in Thailand, is actually promoting mini devs and Kaya ecosystem. So we partnered with Pickup, and so with the events or some other activities in Thailand, we'll be working with the Pickup to reach out to Thai's retail consumers. And Dragon Swap, which is one of the major DEXs on the Kaya ecosystem, they recently announced the major update, the Dragon Swap version 2, and they revamped a lot in terms of UI and also UX. So with the same URL, digiswap.io, so you guys can check out the latest or updated version of the Dragon Swap. Last but not the least, we now finally, our token Kaia was listed on Bitfinex, which is, yeah, finally we reach out to the European exchange. So European community members, now you guys can trade Kaia on the familiar exchange in Europe. And moving to analytics, so the major aggregator site DevRadar they reported some numbers about Kaia chain during in the second week of March. So we saw the huge increase in the unique active wallets. Specifically, we saw more than 75% of increase there. We also saw the significant increase in transactions as well. So more than 28% of the transactions were happened during the second week of March. And Kaia Wave, as Sean mentioned, today we have a session about these two winners of growth competition. So Bombi and Elderglade. So we announced these two teams as the first winners of the mini devs growth competition. And so you guys, will have a chance to listen to their progress and plans, and also ask about questions. And so we also announced the numbers that we achieved during the first month of this mini dev launch. So the mini devs on the Line Messenger, attracted more than 35 million users over the world. And so this is huge number, we believe. And also in terms of revenue, we saw more than $2 million US dollar revenue in the first month. And we did also AMA with the other mini dev teams, Banana, Qjos Friend, Positive Proof Frenzy, and Wonton. And so we'll do continuously the AMAs with other mini dev teams as well in the future. And regarding the events, we participate in East Denver in early March with our mini dev partners, Layer Finance, Elderglade, Midnight Survivor, and Banana. So we met builders and the community members in the US, and so we had a good session there. We also covered our key takeaways from our participation and East Denver during our Kaia roundtable. So we also do the Kaia roundtable continuously. And regarding upcoming events, so we'll host some side event during Southeast Asia Blockchain Week. Actually, it's next week. So in Bangkok, you guys can see Kaia team and also our partners and the Line Next team as well. And I'm going to speak at Web3 Festival 2025 in Hong Kong in the second week of April. So I myself and also our Kaia team and other partners will be there. So if you are in Bangkok or in Hong Kong, then please find us there. So we'll be happy to meet you guys. And that's all from my side. And thank you for listening.
All right, that was an exciting month filled with new ecosystem integrations, a listing on a European exchange, with participation at ETH Denver, as well as future stuff are going to happen next month as well. Super exciting. Looking forward to seeing more. If you want to keep up to date with all this latest news, I think best is to follow our Twitter X account. It's all down below. Yep. So thank you, Sam. Next up, we have Uno, who will give us the business updates for the month of March. Uno, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi guys, this is Uno, the CBO at Kaia Foundation. I have there are four main topics I'm gonna share with you today. First, USD stablecoin initiative. So in Q2 this year, we just left 1 week, right? We are going to launch Kaia's the first native USD, the best stablecoin. Honestly, this has been something we have wanted to for a long time from Kraken. So it's going to be a key catalyst, not just for DeFi, but for the entire Kaia ecosystem. But launching it is just a start. as you know. Yeah. So what really matter is making sure that after launching, lots of the platform and the infrastructure actually adopt our native stablecoin. At that time, our retail and the user have a really have a way to use our stablecoin. For example, major global CX also need to support our stablecoin for deposit and withdrawal. And so from last year, and we are also need to set up, we discuss about that with the major CX. And we also need to set up the fiat on-ramp channel for using our stablecoin. And beyond on-chain uses, we are aiming for real-world use to in Asia. For example, like issuing crypto cards, so lots of the Asian people can actually spend it their daily life. Most important things that we are planning to push growth initiative after launching. So we are planning to build a liquidity pool on the DEX and encouraging the trading, promotion, and launching a lending protocol and the creating yield generating product. I think that this is our initiative and the activity can really put lots of the stablecoin and make us a TVL and the trading volume. And next is Kaia Wave. Yeah, as you know, yeah, we already passed 2 months after launching. Yeah, the result is not bad. Actually, it's better than we expected, but not yeah, not so surprising thing. But Gerard, next session, he will be more share about our Kaya web detailed result. But as you know, we already got multiple new media DApp launched. Yeah, so I expect that a bunch of that like to launch their own token issuing soon. As you know, yeah, for example, Tone last year, lots of the project launch token after launching media after 3 or 6 months, they the app launch their token release and the listing. Yeah, I expect that we have a similar situation. Yeah, you guess. And up to now, most of the media we put our proud that we have been focusing on gaming around the among 60 DF. Yeah, lots of the project related gaming. I think the game category the best fit for early stage launching of a platform. But if you look at how other big super app, for example, WeChat, and Line, Kakao, this is you can see the grown history, the pattern. I think so. Media portal also is usually similar. So we at first we launched the gaming category, but next we are target for finance and content wise media. So we will follow the similar roadmap with the web tools, super apps. They are growing the roadmap. So to make that happen, so we are already out there actively connecting with a new category partner, and so we're trying to bring them the ecosystem for our Kaya Web next. I think Q2 or Q3 you can meet our next categories, our media. And next activity is IR activity, especially for institutional investor. Yeah, for Kaya token demand perspective, we are constantly working on growing demand for the Kaya token. Since second half last year, as you know, Kaya Web program has been the big initiative for us. Using this ingredient, and we find now we make out the result. So we are now appeal to trading focused investor, especially in institutional investor. Uh, uh, for this activity, we have met lots of the liquidity fund. As you know, liquidity fund is the buying token in the market. So we have been pitching them our vision and the result, our next step. So yeah, they are very starting to see our value especially in Kaia, not just Asian liquidity fund and Western liquidity fund. They're very show that they're interested about the buying the Kaia token. So of course now macro market is not good, but our fundamental and the result I think is very very impressive the result. So if the turn around the market, I think a regular fund and the large institutional investor will buy our token on the market. I expect that. And last one is a consensus liquidity initiative. I just called the consensus liquidity CL. CL is something we have been building since Q3 last year. With the goal of the boosting on-chain asset and our on-chain activity. Right now, honestly, lots of the Kaia token are still taking governance council share node, which make us lots of the Kaia token still not using in DeFi ecosystem. On top of that, so we realize it's a super important to get more Kaia based the Kaia token activity on chain, not Kaia token and the Kaia based Kaia compatible token. So we need another some infra. So we made an infrastructure protocol, the CL. So we will launch this protocol in Q2. Over the second half last year, we spent lots of time for fine-tuning the tech stack and setting the initial polish for CL. And Q1 this year, we worked on developing CL core and run audit and build our CL DEX. And recently, we ran a governance proposal to select the first our partner, CL partner. So we already selected two partners, Metabora and the Subscanner. The plan is to launch the CL pool on the CL DEX by the end of the Q2 this year. So you can check soon. A quick head up on who can join CL partner is that only governance council member are eligible, and each participant need to have their own Kaia based token. That time they can make our Kaia and the Kaia compatible their token pool. And what are we expecting for CL launch? First one is the TVL and the more trading activity, and because the rest of our partner token listed in the CX, and when we make some DEX pool through CL, as you know, CL has between CL and the DEX make some price gap, which means more arbitrage trading opportunity. So not only this opportunity, I think there are so many reasons why we launch CL. You can check more detail about our CL's plan and the specific content through our governance forum. That's on my side.
Whoa, that was a slew of updates from the business team. I guess March and I think has been a very busy month for the team. From a stablecoin initiative, which I'm hoping will help to reinvigorate the DeFi ecosystem, to institutional investors, and lastly the CL plan. Super exciting stuff. All right. Now it's time for the special part of the town hall this month. Oops. Yep. So essentially, before we delve into the panel discussion, I think it would be wise to give a brief overview of the mini DApp competition for context for any viewers who might not be too familiar with it. For that, we have Jared, who will come and explain a bit more about what this competition was about and how it was. So Jared, please take it away.
Hi everyone, Jared from Kaia team. So I'm currently in charge of Kaia Wave growth competition. So next slide, please. So I think everyone here, since as a user, kind of quite is quite new notion because gross competition is basically for the mini dApps with the Kaia waves. But I think it's good to know the program since it's it really kind of gives some top performing mini dApp information to the users. So it's basically goal is to foster and rapid user growth, especially on-chain user growth, and by rewarding a top-performing project within the mini-dApp sectors, so that we can, so we identify and support the standout mini-dApps that achieved, high monthly active user milestones and on-chain, revenue and transactions. So, basically our goal is to, have very big mini dApps on Kaia so that we can, grow the entire ecosystem. And we track multiple metrics to get the performance of each mini dApps. So weekly on-chain active users and also weekly on-chain transactions and lastly mini dApp revenue. So we choose for the top 2 mini dApps. We support huge marketing support, and also even for the top 10 top mini dApps, we support dApp portal promotions. So phase 1 is done. That's the reason why we have Bombi and Elder Grade team here. So for the March, we already done, and lastly we have phase 2 that will be happen on the April. So data collection is in progress, and you can see the weekly data on the Kaia Square. Yes, next slide, please. Yeah, as I mentioned, Bombi and Elder Grade, 2 top performing mini dApps, won the growth competition phase 1. As you can see here, Bombi already achieved 1.4 million user count, and Elder Grade, they also have about like 3 million user count within the Line ecosystem. And I personally am very enjoying playing those 2 mini games, even paying a lot of Kaia tokens and fiat money to buy some items within here. So I think it's very fun. So I think I strongly recommend for the users viewers to try to play these 2 games. And next, please. Yeah, so this is the graph, the weekly active addresses on chain on top of Kaia. So as you can see, after the launch of Kaia Wave, basically we launched 22nd of January. So after this January, you can see J-curve like active addresses increase. So it went from like 1 million to about 1 million to over 6 million weekly active users. And as you can see, the new on-chain users are coming to Kaia, and I think many of those growth are coming from the top growth competition winners. So I think it's very pleasure to see this kind of growth. Yes, next slide, please. So here's the link. So scare.kaia.io/competition. So you can see the weekly mini dApp growth ranking. So it's measured by the on-chain wallets, TX, and revenue. So you can see all the mini dApps, top performing mini dApps in this website, and it's quite, I think, important because you can grasp the idea that which dApps are performing well, and since many of them will airdropping tokens, you can strategically choose which dApps to play. So you can use those kind of this data to decide which game I will play. So this is you can always see the data in the website. And by the way, after the growth competition, we will also focus on turning newly onboarded users into the power user, because basically many users within the mini dApp ecosystem, they're new users, and what they do is connect wallet and buying some items or do some basic transactions on chain. So it's quite basic things. So our intention is to also turn this kind of user base into more power users, so that we can have more kind of APRU and also more on-chain activity on top of Kaia. Those kind of to do those kind of things. So please, get ready. So we will do some kind of more campaign to do that. So yeah, that's so next slide, please. Oh yeah, I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jared. Thank you for the overview. Now, I'd basically like to invite our two other panelists. Let me just remove my panel discussion screen here, and we can do this, I guess. And then we can add and add. Okay, cool. So the two who will be joining us, I think, as Jared mentioned, the two winners are Bombi as well as Elderblade. The two representatives are Barry as well as Adele. So I know it's cliche, and I know that Adele has done this many, many times before, but to kick things off, Jared's already introduced himself. Kick things off, let's start with the question. Introduce yourself, your project, and what you do at said project. Adele, you want to go first?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Adele. I'm a founder and CMO of Elderglade. Elderglade is a VR fantasy puzzle game with about 11 million players across all platforms, where players battle each other in real time and climb leaderboards and compete in tiers and so on and so forth. It is growing into a much bigger world, a retro-inspired adventure game when you team up, fight enemies, collect loot, and build your own path in living an evolving universe. So basically, I'm a RPG extraction looter. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it from.
Right. What a slew of roles you have there. Barry, what about yourself?
Hi everyone, this is Barry from Bombi. Bombi is a game which is now where you can find it on Kaia, and you guys could enjoy the simple gameplay that just away from keyboard. So every users could just come in to open our chest box, and then you could get the weapon to kill the unlimited zombie, so that you could get the in-game airdrop and the in-game token, which it will be converted into real world token very soon, so that everyone could enjoy the game easily and then just come in to finish off the daily task, and then you could just put away your mobile phone and work it as a AFK game, and then you could earn all of our rewards there.
All right. So before we delve into more questions, fun fact about these two projects: they actually are currently the only two mini dApps holding the diamond revenue tier, which is highest tier on the you can see now on Square, Kaia Square competition. So that's super fun. Okay. So first question goes out to Jared. What would you say? What is the inspiration behind the mini dApp growth competition, and what made you want to kick off this initiative in the first place?
I think I already explained those inspiration in the previous slide. But anyway, to recap, is to support mini dApps to grow within the Kaia and also Line ecosystem, so that we can support a great games such as Bombi and Eldergrade. So that's all the intention.
Okay, all right. So next question goes out, I think, to both Elderglade and Bombi. How did you guys initially feel about participating when you first knew about this competition? Did you see it as a chance to push your growth metrics, or were you more curious about the potential exposure? And potentially, were there any kind of campaigns did you run to boost your growth metrics? Adele? I know it's a very long question, but yeah.
That's okay. I think I'll manage. So we were actually very excited to learn that there's a competition happening. So it definitely gave us like a motivation boost to to acquire more users, to be more everywhere. So but overall, as as game developers, we were driven to build an amazing and fun game and ecosystem and bring as much players as we can. it still was like the growth competition still was at the very beginning of the, when we all launch on Line's mini dApp portal. So one way or another, we were very driven by the fact that we need to, acquire users, we need to do this and that. But of course, we were very curious and excited about new exposure possibilities, and we understood how much this grant would impact our marketing budget, etc. So we were very excited about that as well. And we did a lot of different campaigns from guilds to QOL. Some of them were very effective. Some of them were less effective. Some of them were not effective at all. So we did a lot. We tried a lot, and yeah, it was definitely a very exciting element of launching, and it definitely took a toll on our motivation and boosted it a lot throughout the building and throughout the time when we launched.
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun. I mean, part of the fun also is doing the different trial and errors as well. Like ourselves personally, we've also at Kaia, we've been doing a lot of trial and error with different ad campaigns and stuff like that. So super fun. I mean, sometimes it does get demoralizing, but other times, you have the highs and lows. You got to balance them out, I think. All right, Barry. Yeah. Barry, how did you initially feel about participating when you first knew about the competition? And the other questions
I think we share the feeling of Adele that we were very excited to join the campaign when we first know there is a campaign for the growth competition. And I think because we trust that Kaia can bring in a lot of new users, so our team worked very closely with Kaia team to see how we could launch our game best on the portal, and then we try to accommodate everything to during this competition period, so that we could ride on the exposure of the competition, so that we could catch the best momentum at that moment to grow our community, grow our user base from Kaia. So I think it could kind of like a win-win situation for both Kaia and the dApps ourselves, so that when we are doing better, when we work harder, then the Kaia grow better, and then we get more users. I think this is a very positive cycle for every dApps inside the ecosystem. And for the part that you have asked about the campaigns, which we feel that we were quite successful during the competition period. I think besides the normal payment campaigns, payment events of our in-game regular events, I think we did something differently apart from our daily operation, which is we mainly focus to promote the link of our Kaia version from our Twitter, so that our active community, they could know that, we just launched a new version on Kaia, and then everyone could go inside to have a special kind of events to enjoy that kind of rewards, so that we try to ride on the wave of the competition period, and then we also push it hard from our side to let more users know that we have a version on Kaia.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best ways to know about the latest news from both Bombi and Elderglade, as well as to follow you guys on Twitter X. Like, obviously, I think that's the biggest way you can know about the latest news and upcomings, especially potentially any TGs that might be happening. So, excuse me. Anyways, all right. So let's move on to another question. I think we can go to back to Elderglade. Looking back, what strategies and features would you say played the biggest role in helping your dApp gain traction during the competition? Maybe you can share a bit more about which of the following metrics are you the most confident in and really helped to bring you guys to the finish line.
So regarding the strategy, overall, it's typically a mix of marketing actions that work the best rather than one specific thing. So it's a bit difficult to highlight. For instance, we did cooperate a lot with various guilds, and for example, partner with like majority of Japanese guilds, let's say. And the goal of that partnership is to drive users to the game. But that worked because simultaneously we did a lot of KOL marketing with, let's say, Japanese KOLs, events in the game, different type of rewards in the game, giveaways, etc. So it's typically not one specific action that drives the results. It's like a combination of it, because even if you partner, like, let's say, with several guilds, but you have zero exposure in the market, you likely not attract as much attention because people would not trust you so much. So it's typically like a whole that in the end of the day drives you to the result. Of course, like I mentioned before, we did some things that worked, did some things that the results were bad and even funny, like specific ad campaigns that completely did not work. It just is. But typically I would think that it's like a whole. We did a lot of cooperations with different type of line communities, etc. We would spend a lot of time seeking them out, seeing how active they are, then partnering, then things like that. So it's a combination of like smaller steps, bigger steps, and then in the end of the day you also have to have certain incentives in your game. Sometimes it's points, sometimes we did campaigns where players would get, let's say, Kaia for specific actions. So once that all combination is, the whole funnel is, and the whole, onboarding journey is figured out, and you have different type of funnels who bring, new users to the game, that's, I think, what's the most effective. I think if you would take and isolate a specific action, let's say, KOL marketing, it would not drive very good results if you don't have the rest. So overall, like I mentioned before, we have around 11 million players, but they're across Line, Telegram, and mobile app, and we're also accessible via browser. So that's also like the result is also a combination of a lot of different type of elements. And so we've connected around 5.3 million wallets, and that's largely thanks to seamless integration of Kaia and OKX wallets. For context, games like Axie, when they peak, they have around 2.5 million wallets. So in the Web3, this is a significant result. And a lot of games, they do not cross 500K wallet limit, especially like not even games, but a lot of even like, different type of projects. So we're actually pretty excited. And about more than 1.5, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on 1.3 million of those wallets made at least one purchase. So the ratio is actually really healthy and good. In traditional gaming, conversion rates, like 20% conversion rate, it's not very common. So most games hope for like 3-5%, and we're sitting on 20, which puts us in the same ballpark as, for instance, Fortnite, and significantly higher than the games like Candy Crush, which I think have around 7%. Clash Royale and PUBG Mobile have around 5%. So I think like overall the result is phenomenal, and our ARPPU is also quite high. We typically compare it to the games that are in the same, let's say, league, because you can't compare, let's say, a casual mobile game to, something, I don't know, on top of my mind, something, that's so when we compare it to like real life games that have monetization aspects like Clash Royale, which is around 5, PUBG Mobile, which is about 5 as well, Candy Crush is about 4. So most Web3 games aim to like 1.3, which I think it's really good. And so in first month of Lined Up Portal, we generate about 5.5 million revenue in Kaia. Now we're sitting about 7.5, which I think it's rather good. We're doing between 300 and 500 per week, which I think is very good as well. So in overall, we have around 3.7 million total in-game TX. So I think it's good as well. I think overall, like we can go to the more details, but I think overall it shows that the community that we have, let's say the community that uses Lines the Portal and plays our game, is actually, real. And they actually are interested in the projects itself. They actually do not just, here to like collect, you know, a small reward or something like that. They are actually here to play. They buy boosters because our in-game items are not, they're just like, they help you to boost your, let's say, to double your, you know, winnings for some time, etc. So they're all very tied to the gameplay itself. So that for us signifies that we have a very good monetization process and a very good economy, and actually our community is very engaged and they actually play and invest their, you know, even like, you know, their time and their effort, and even like the money. The transactions are still like very, very small. So we keep it in the same, let's say, pricing as most typical like casual games. So it shows that the community is like, it's there, it's real, they're ready, they you know, they want to play, they're actually very invested and engaged into the game. So we're really happy about that, and these are results we're the most, let's say, proud of. And it signifies as well that we're interested both to Web2 community, but we're also interesting to Web3 community, because, you know, they have to connect wallets, they have to do all these things, they have to like purchase Kaia somewhere. So it shows that, you know, that these people are actually interested and engaged in the games. And I think other dApps have similar, maybe not similar results, but also very significant very significant data that proves that people are actually interested in the product itself, which I think shows that the whole mini dApp ecosystem is, you know, is successful and is you know, is just, you know, engaged, and people actually like it.
Yeah, it's impressive, Elderglade. I mean, Bombi as well, I think, has similar stats. Yeah, you're mentioning about there being like the campaigns being there, the good, the bad. You forgot about the weird as well. Sometimes the campaigns you don't think are gonna work, but then they end up working. It's super strange. All right. Yeah, it's really strange. Yeah, how it all turns out. Okay, next on to Barry. I think we can go on to maybe a bit more to community engagements. With such impressive results from Bombi, how did this mini dApp competition change how your community interacts with your project? And did you notice any long-lasting effects even after the competition ended? I mean, it's not ended, phase one ended rather.
Yeah, sure. I would like to share more about from the product side, because as you mentioned about the engagement of the community, because during the growth competition period, actually we have launched a very minor but very important features inside our game on the Kaia version, which is the daily check-in features in the game, so that it helped a lot to improve the engagement and also like the retention of our users from going back to the game, because they want to claim more reward, get more items from everyday's login. So I think these features, together with our other events like the payment event, because we claim that we have a last event which to allow the users to get more special in-game items, in-game airdrop, so that they could convert it very soon to our real token later, so that both the daily login features together with our last Bombi event together, actually it result a very good users engagement, and also a very large, very good growth of the user base and also the revenue after these two features and event combining together. And for the part you have asked about the long-term effect of after the competition, I would like to share, because the main thing is after this competition, actually our ARPPU has improved a lot, which we have also posted just right now 1 hour ago on our Twitter. Actually, our ARPPU actually is 8 times higher than League of Legends already, which as a Web3 game and on Kaia only, which is a very impressive result that we beat one of the most successful games in history. So that actually we could see the powerful of that, how we work closely with Kaia together, and then we could drive the most valuable users from Kaia to our games. And then, as I said before, it is a win-win situation for both of the Kaia chain and also the DApps ourselves. So that I think this is a very long-term effect for long-lasting effect for Bombi, because those users has really play a lot in terms of time, and also pay a lot in terms of tokens itself. So that it is a very good result to turn the community into more active and into more engaging, so that they keep discussing about the long-term development about our game, and also the token development about our game as well. So that it is a very positive result for Bombi after this growth competition.
Hey, Jared, follow-up question for you regarding what both Bombi and Olga said. Did you expect did you expect the competition to have this level of lasting impacts on the community engagement?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, actually, I just noticed that, especially, for Bombay team, you guys have, 8 times more ARPPU than the League of Legends, right? So I never it's the first time to hear those kind of, thing, and also the daily check-in engagement. Also for Elderglade, I really kind of surprised that you guys had 20% conversion rate, right? So I think it's, I would say, like, you can never see those kind of numbers, in Web2 gaming. So I think, I think I really surprised that you guys have the numbers, and I think we have, chose the right teams, right? As a top performance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really shows the power of the Line Mini App ecosystem, like onboarding the Web 2 to Web 3. I think it really shows that these casual games, in terms of getting the users in, it really does work. All right, so I'm gonna final questions, because we are kind of a bit running out of time here, to both Elderglade and Bombi. If you could give one piece of advice to future participants in the next phase of the competition, what would it be? Adele?
So from my side, it's probably explore various funnels and user onboarding methods, because what works for one dApp does not necessarily work for other dApp, because all dApps are different, and we'll probably attract also a different player types as well, depending on how the dApp looks. So basically, explore, see what's the most effective ways. Always check in with the metrics as often as possible to learn which method works the best, and as soon as possible, and cut off the ones that doesn't. And tap in communities, tap in ads, tap in everything that you can to basically filter out, and then just utilize the channels that work the best for you.
Right, Barry, sorry, Barry from Bombi. It's fun to say that 10 times fast. Anyways, one piece of advice to future participants.
I think localization is very important for all users to adapt to Kaia, because everyone knows that Line has a very large user base, a very high quality user base in the whole Asia. But in Asia, there are lots of different countries, different cultures that you have to localize those things very well. So for Bombi, as an example, which we have collaborated with some local DApps, and so that everyone knows that we work with very local teams, so that we could attract those user base from the other collaboration. So that I think it is one of the successful experience from our side. And also I think user engagement is very important. I think it should be applied to all games, all applications, no matter which platform you're working on. Just focus on the user engagement. Why the users has to come back to your game, to your applications. I think this is the advice from us.
Hey, and now we'll end off with one last question for Jared. Now that phase 1 is complete, what are your hopes for phase 2 and beyond, and how do you see the competition evolving in the near future?
My hopes for the phase 1 and beyond. So, I think I saw the many depths, other than Bombi and Elderglade. Many newly onboarded mini devs, they kind of lack of the on-chain features first, because I suspect that's because a portion of our mini dev teams came from the Web2 background. But I strongly recommend to include the on-chain features as early as possible, because as you can see in the metrics, we count on-chain users and on-chain transactions. So I hope many teams include the on-chain features more actively into their mini dApps first. And in the future, maybe many other teams, I hope attend this competition, and also not only the gaming side, but also many other sectors such as finance could be included into campaign, also mini depth ecosystem. So yeah, I hope in quantity and sector wise we have more various candidates and metrics.
All right, and that concludes our panel discussion for the growth competition. So I'm just gonna check if we have any Q&A for the thing, because we are actually running out of time. But I think we do have time for maybe one question. I think this question goes to both Elderly and Bombi. I mean, either one of you can answer. It comes from, I think, Discord. I asked, what is the utility of the project's token?
Maybe I can answer that from our side. So actually, our utility is is very big, considering the fact that it will be it will be used in the dApp itself. You can you can make purchases, obviously some staking incentives, but also it will be utilized in upcoming MMORPG. So we're creating kind of a hybrid model of a game that contains two of the most popular game types, which is one is casual gaming and another one is MMORPG. So we combine the token in both games, and that creates a huge token economy opportunity. Of course, that will be complemented by different type of staking incentives and so on and so forth. But also, the token will have its utilities in other W3 Forge Studios developed games. So we're actually looking into the token utility that probably has never been seen before. So yeah, with the so yeah, that's it for me.
Barry, do you have any comments for your Bombi's utility?
Yes, actually, we are going to launch different games under Bombi series. So we will have Bombi 2 very soon, so that our tokens will be useful for all of our game series, which mainly for staking purpose, which users could get more discount or more game reward after staking our tokens. And actually, we are working with our friendly apps Catazon and the others games under Catazon, which we would like to build a environment called the FunFi environment, which the tokens ourselves could let every users enjoy the whole ecosystem to have more fun after they stake our token. And also, as usual, and most importantly, the tokens holders can become our governance token to monitor the whole community and our game development as well.
All right, and that basically concludes the Q&A section of the, I guess I'd like to thank our two wonderful panelists, Adele as well as Barry, for coming, attending our panel. Even I think, I'm not sure where you guys are located, but right now it's almost 9 p.m. Singapore time. So do appreciate you guys coming on so late at night or even early in the morning, depending on where you guys are. So yeah, appreciate you both. And yeah, I think basically that will conclude our. Let me just add this back to stage, and then we can remove, and remove. All right, and that basically I think will conclude our March town hall. I like to apologize because we are basically run out of time. But apologize to those who have asked questions. We didn't get to it. But yeah, essentially, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. If you would like to know when the next town hall will be hosted, or when, I think we have a roundtable as well as more AMAs coming up. So if you want to know when that will happen, best is to follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter links all like right here. Actually, like sorry, that's all over there. As well as that portal as well, I think is for all the mini dApps new stuff like that, as well as Elderglade, as well as Bombi as well. All right, so I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and thank you again. Thank you to all to both our panelists as well as the Kaia team for coming and giving the updates for Kaia. If there is, all right. So thank you all for tuning, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.